the recording. Welcome, Monday night Marketing Monday attendees. The regulars are here. I love it. I cannot believe after this, we'll have what, 8 more left. It's going by quickly. Who knows what today is?
May Day,
And
the first day of Beat the Clock.
yes, yay!
I knew that was your answer, but
I know David's excited about that. That's great. Well,
Market Street will sign up someone tomorrow.
Oh, you just need how many more?
4 more.
That's right. You can do it. That's excellent. Well, we have 2 of our club growth chairs here, and I would like to introduce Zinnia Ship. Z, tell us what you do. Z, she's gone. Whoop, that was quick. David Bell.
Hopefully I won't go away once you call on me. I'm David Bell. I'm the club retention chair this year, serving under Elizabeth Riss. And my role is to get club coaches, and we have a plethora of them serving our clubs. We can always take more coaches, and we'd love to set up the next year's team for success with brand new club coaches. So if you're interested in being a club coach, feel free to reach out to me. It's a lot of joy, a lot of fun to serve these clubs. And the other thing that Elizabeth just mentioned was May 1st is the first day of Beat the Clock campaign for Toastmasters International, which means as a club, we want to get 5 new members. Get my camera here, 5 new members in the next 60 days. And if you do that, you get a ribbon for your club, and you also get 10% discount at Toastmasters International, and then whatever surprises Elizabeth may have for you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, David, for your service. Like I had mentioned, 8 more weeks are left. Whoa. Hi, Gail. How are you? Welcome. Past distinguished.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Director. Good. Nice to see you. She's
Thank you.
also a dignitary. So is Janetta. Area directors. We have 2 of them here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I placed in chat our club coach page. The club sponsor page is Pamela McCown. She is absent today. And our club mentor page is Troy Rocket. He is working on the conference tonight. We don't want to forget our incentives page in case you would like to take a peek at the very last incentive that David Bell had mentioned. That is our incentives page. Last but not least, if I forget towards the end, this is our Marketing Mondays shared Google Drive. Don't lose that one. If you do, you can email me and I'll send it to you. You're in for a very special treat tonight. Hi, Deshaun. How are you? Deshaun is a distinguished Toastmaster in a different district, club growth director. Deshaun, where are you from?
I am.
You're on a boat.
Chicago, Illinois. You know where I'm from. How you doing?
I know where, I think I know where you want to be, on a boat. That looks good.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's where I want to be. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We are in for a special treat. It coincides with what today is all about that David had shared. We have 2 months to sign up 5 or more members. What does it take to sign up 5 or more members? And I will give you a hint. It's about leadership. To sign up 5 or more members, it's not only leadership, it's collaboration, it's planning, it's team building. Who here has made a plan for the last 2 months of our Toastmaster year on how we're going to go about signing up 5 new members in the last 2 months for us to be acknowledged with that Beat the Clock ribbon, the 10% off discount from the store, and a $50 gift certificate from Club Growth. Not to mention, your club will be listed on the Toastmasters International website for years and years to come, as well as the District 56 website, and pasted in the end of the year celebration it'll be around August or September. What else does it mean for us to try to achieve 5 new members in 2 months? Let's go back to leadership. Has anyone planned or met with their club officers or club and discussing Beat the Clock? Has anyone ever won Beat the Clock? Here, raise your hand. We have 3. Has anyone won Talk Up Toastmasters? Raise your hand. 1, 2. Has anyone won the Smedley Award? Raise your hand.
I can't
Our
remember.
club is the only one? Wow. Okay. Well, I challenge you to win Beat the Clock this year. How are we going to do that? Do you have a plan? Yes, Janetta.
We are going to have an open house the Tuesday after the conference. And we have already gained 5 members in the last 6 weeks, just from changing locations. And we believe that the foot traffic at Sam Houston State University, the Woodlands campus, is an excellent location. And we meet every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So if you know anyone that's in that area, you can share. We have flyers on our social media pages, and Ellie Hart is going to give an educational speech at the meeting, and one of our newer members, who is a professional author and speaker, is going to give her icebreaker speech at that event. It's going to be a hybrid meeting, so anyone can attend to watch and support. I will put our information in the chat.
Wow, you have a plan.
I have a plan, man.
Okay. Anyone else? Well, it's now time to have a highly interactive session tonight. We're going to help you have 5 new members and earn that Beat the Clock award. I need everyone to take out a piece of paper and pen, or you can do this on a Word document on your computer if you want to save paper. I'm going to ask you 11 questions. There are possible, you have to choose one of 3 answers. I will tell you a number that goes with each answer, and you'll write down that number. It's going to be 11 questions. So you can go ahead and write 1 through 11 if you'd like. I'll ask the question. I'll give you 3 answers with a number assigned to each answer, and then write down the number that answers that question. And this is the order and the rules. Here we go. This is for us as an individual. If this is something after you take this that you like, I will upload this into the shared Google Drive. You can give it to your other club members and work together to help devise a plan to win Beat the Clock. But this is really to help us with our leadership and how we can create plans and be more collaborative. Now, right now in our leadership positions, I know there's a few leaders here now. Can you raise your hand if you are a club officer in your club? Raise your hand. Most of us here are club officers. This is good. Okay, for those of you that are not club officers, it's fine. Take the quiz and bring it to your club, and let's see how we can work with our vice presidents of membership and vice presidents of public relations to get this beat the clock up and running. Well, right now we're facing rapid changes from going through COVID. Now we're getting back into the in-person as well as hybrid. And there's a lot of temporary situations of virtual meetings, and some people are less likely to go back into person, which is leaving us with either members leaving or they want to stay virtual. And then you have some who won't even sign up unless you have an in-person meeting. We're all over the board right now, but we need to be an effective team in our clubs to be able to make plans and help members join our clubs and find out what exactly are they looking for and how are we transitioning from 100% online to in-person or hybrid. This is definitely the new demand going on right now in Toastmasters. So I have a question. Are we stuck? Are we stuck in the past? Now I can share, when COVID hit, I saw a lot of clubs get stuck. We went from in person to either not meeting or trying to figure out an online platform. Now it's the opposite, and I do see some clubs stuck. Who here is still 100% online? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. 4 people. Okay. Are you going to stay online, or will you go back to hybrid or in person? Yes, Z.
We're actually doing hybrid on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month.
Wonderful. What about anyone else? Are you staying online? Yes, Anita?
Yeah, we are staying online because we have people from out of our jurisdiction, out of the, and they're not going to drive in from California to come to Las Vegas just for a meeting. So we're staying online. Occasionally we do hybrid, but it's a sometime thing. Like
Okay.
we're coming up with something the day after Mother's Day, which is a Sunday because we meet on Sundays. We're going to have an open air, open house picnic. And we'll bring the laptop. If there's Wi-Fi at the park, then we'll hook it up. If there's not, I'm sorry, but we will still have an open air, open house picnic. But it's going to be a very fun afternoon. We've planned a whole afternoon around it, actually.
That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hopefully you will have 5 new members in the next 2 months.
I'm hoping. We're trying to get some PR out.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Well, this is, how do we change? This is all about leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It's how do we handle temporary issues? How do we manage differences between those who want to stay online and those who want to go back in person? Are our club members making the adjustment and transition to this new way of meeting, to the new demands of those that want to stay online, that want to go in person? Are you stuck? Well, although what I'm about to ask you, it's not exhaustive. It's only 11 critical skills for contemporary leaders, and we're going to assess how we practice these skills. The more honest you are in this assessment evaluation, the more valuable the results will be for you and the development or the growth and the development for your club. To what extent would others describe you in each of these 11 skill areas? These are questions to you, and it's to what extent would others describe you in each of these 11 skill areas? I'm asking you to be honest with yourself. We don't need to hear the answer. I just need to hear a number at the end. It's 11 questions. I will ask you one question, give you 3 answers with a number. Write down those 11 numbers, and then you'll total them up and place them in chat. Here we go. Number 1. Need to exceed. Needs to exceed. Demonstrates a sustained passion for succeeding. Willingly steps up to significant challenges, sets high standards, is driven to achieve results, conveys a sense of urgency, and holds self accountable to adding value. A, this is not me, 1 point. B, sometimes this is me, 3 points. C, this is definitely me, 5 points. Needs to succeed, demonstrates a sustained passion for succeeding, willingly steps up to significant challenges, sets high standards, is driven to achieve results, conveys a sense of urgency, and holds self accountable to adding value. This is me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me, 5. Number 2. Helps others succeed. Support others by providing constructive feedback, coaching, and using a process to see that others are developed and provide developmental resources. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me, 5.
Are we on 3 or 2?
This is number
2.
2. Number 2, helps others succeed. Number 1 was needs to exceed, and number 2 is helps others succeed. Support others. I hear a TV or something. Is there someone I can mute? Let's see. Who should we mute? Is there some talking? I can't. Okay. Helps others succeed. Number 2, support others by providing constructive feedback, coaching, and using a process to see that others are developed and provide developmental resources. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me, 5. Question number 3, courageous. Are you courageous? Willing to stand up and be counted, steps forward to address complex issues, puts self on the line to deal with essential problems, stands firm when necessary, doesn't hold back anything that needs to be said, is not afraid to take negative action when appropriate. This is not me, number 1. Sometimes this is me, 3 points, and this is definitely me, 5 points. Number 4. Let me know if I'm going too fast or slow. Number 4, leads, creates visions and purpose that others buy into and share, takes actions that inspire confidence that the vision is being achieved, sets clear and compelling goals that serve as a unifying focal point of efforts, often creating immense team spirit. This is me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me. This is not me is 1 point. Sometimes this is me, 3. And this is definitely me, 5. If you need me to repeat it, let me know. Number 5, we're halfway there, customer focused, creates sustained partnership with internal and external members and prospects based on a thorough firsthand understanding of what creates value for them. Continually searches for ways to increase member and guest satisfaction. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me, 5. Relationship builder. Initiates and develops relationships with others as a key priority, uses informal networks to get things done, and relies more on the ability to influence than hierarchical relationships. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. And this is definitely me, 5. Team builder. Champions teamwork, creates an environment in which teams are used appropriately. Their development is supported and they are generally successful, fosters collaboration among team members and teams, and creates a feeling of belonging in the team. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me, 5. Four more to go. Principled, inspiring trust through ethical behavior, shows consistency between principles, values, and behavior, and is authentic. Consistently lives, breathes, and expresses their principles in all they do. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me, 5. Change agent, acts as a catalyst of change and stimulate others to change, challenges the status quo, champions new initiatives, and manages implementation effectively. I know we have change agents here. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. And this is definitely me, 5. Now, I know we have some of these I'm about to say. Number 10, eager learner, learns from experience, learns quickly, is a versatile learner, and actively pursues learning and self-development. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me, 5. And our final question, number 11. Values others, shows and fosters respect and appreciation for each person, whatever their background, race, age, gender, disability, values, or lifestyles. Makes others feel valued for their ideas and contributions regardless of differences. Seeks others' points of view, recognizes their contribution, and makes people feel appreciated. This is not me, 1. Sometimes this is me, 3. This is definitely me, 5. Time to add it up. And let us know your score. If you don't want to let us know your score, you don't have to let us. Janetta's already on a roll. As you share or tally it up and not share, your choice, I am going to share with you what this means. Now we can I'll put this quiz up in the shared Google Drive. And what we can do is, this is a developmental discussion tool. What I highly recommend is to select and assess 4 out of the 11 skills which in your mind makes a difference, and that they are the most important in your positions. And then ask your members to select the 4 most critical skills for your role in your club and assess how they would describe you. And compare your assessment with someone who either mentors you or has helped you in the past. Discuss similarities, gaps, or differences in the assessments. For example, the when, where, and how that your views are similar or different. And then the final one is, after this is done, jointly define the implications of your increased effectiveness, growth, and development. Not only will this help you, it will help your club see each other of what is important to us and maybe something that we need to work on. And we can find a mentor in our club, or maybe we can be the mentor and have a mentee and help them. What will this do? Guarantee you it will help increase your membership, and it will retain members by working together to keep your club cohesive and leading it in a really strong way. There's other handouts that go with this that I will add because there's 2 minutes left. This is part of a workshop that I teach outside of Toastmasters, and it comes with a workbook that I had created. I'll put in some of the sheets from there also that would pertain to this. It'll give you a little bit more of a deep dive into it. Your score from 11 to 21. If you are presently in a leadership role, it says that you must be very frustrated and yearn for the good old days. And what does that mean? The good old days is before COVID, when everyone was in person and probably in the traditional education program. But it says, sorry, they weren't so good and they never will return. Have you considered to changing over to the new ways? Remember that change agent question. We need to find someone who scores high on that change agent to help do some change management in your club. I can personally share, I'm in a club with someone who has been in Toastmasters for over 20 years. He is not enrolled in Pathways. He loves the traditional education program. It's going to take a while, but we'll get him there. 21 to 43, a closet 21st century leader. You must be torn between holding on to the past or following the skills exhibited by your past. Doing what you think is right. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. What you need is more consistency. Trust yourself. You're on the right road. Look for opportunities to sharpen your skills so you can become more confident by using them all the time, not just some of the time. 45 to 55 score, you are a 21st century leader. Your skills will put you in good stead for the future. Don't relax. Keep learning and adapting. Who knows what the future will bring? A safe bet is that it will be different, but you like these challenges. Once you have all of this, see if you would like to have your other members take this, at least one of them, and then follow those 4 suggestions where you select 4 out of the 11 skills where in your mind make a difference. They could be a change agent, it could be values, anything that you like. Pick 4 that's the most important for you, and then have someone take this in your club and they select 4 of the most critical skills, and then have them assess how they would describe you and then compare each other's assessments. Does anyone have any questions? Did you learn anything new about leadership skills? Anyone? Yes, Anita.
Well, in going over the questions and how they were posed and answered and considered, I realized that some of the things I think I'm really hot to trot on, I can improve on. And I realized that just because I think I'm a bag of chips doesn't mean everyone's going to bust into the, chips and have some.
Well said. That's very humble. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Yes, Tashan?
I think that it takes a lot of time to get 50 points in this, 55 points. A lot of time. And I don't know, I don't think that I think I have that push because that's the kind of person I am. But for Toastmasters, it's not it doesn't make me a living in that way as far as money is concerned. So I don't think I put enough effort in each one of those pieces that you talked about. If there was a dollar figure there, I'm going to make $200,000 a year. I think I would be a lot more robust in them. But since I don't, I kind of put that on, level 4 someplace, and I don't do as hard of a job as I can do in Toastmaster environment. Just being truthful, also.
That's okay. I understand. I understand. Anyone else would like to share?
I'd like to share that my answers are dependent on my frame of mind today versus next month. Maybe after the Toastmaster year, I'm no longer the president of the club. It may change. So for me, it depends on the time of the day, the month of the year.
Yes, I agree, Z. It really does matter where we are in our mindset right now. And this is a great, quick questionnaire to take it as often as you'd like. If you feel your club is stuck somewhere, I know we have so many assessments and moments of truth, but really club retention and increasing membership, it's about leadership. And if we can dig deep into and be honest with ourselves and answer just these 11 questions, and then have someone else take it and then share, maybe we can increase our leadership skills and build a stronger club and increase our members and retain our members. It's a nice challenge just to do for 2 months and see if we can build up our club and at the same time win Beat the Clock award. Why not? Yes, David, I saw your hand up.
Oh, I lowered it. I thought, I don't want to beat the clock too much here. 2 things that I took away is, one was the importance of self-assessments and also getting other people to give us feedback. Just that check-in every now and then is really good to do. But the other thing, it just hit me on courageous, especially when it comes to change. It's like we're afraid if we move forward, we might lose something. And the comment earlier about moving back to in person, well, we're going to lose something if we do that. If you're not real courageous and clear on what your view is, you may lose everything.
You have to fight.
I don't mean to end on a downer note. I mean to be focused. Be courageous.
Yes. There's a double-edged sword here, or really I should say we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. It really is about beat the clock, but I would also like to bring up, if you haven't done so already, club officer elections are supposed to happen your first meeting in May, and today is May 1st. Please raise your hand if your club or clubs have already had their club officer elections. Raise your hand. 2. Uh-oh. Well, we need to back it up. Yes, Z.
We don't meet until tomorrow and we have our election scheduled.
Yeah.
So we are on time. And my other club is doing it on Wednesday.
Okay.
So we are on time. We're on schedule.
There you go. This is also a very important reminder that if you don't know about the whole club officer election, it is in the back of the club leadership handbook. Everything on putting together a slate at least 2 weeks before, sharing it with your club, and then having the elections. And I know someone here who's very well-versed, and her name is Gail Lover. Gail, would you like to share? The
she
importance
is.
about club officer elections.
Yes, thank you so much. I know that you should think about who is going to step into your shoes. I don't use the word replace because no one can replace you, however you are, good or bad. But someone needs to step into your shoes. And along the months that have passed, it's when you should be mentoring people and working with them, so it's not you're not frazzled at the last minute. Now, in my club in San Diego, we have two different ways of doing the nominations. We send out a sheet of paper, list all the members' name, and tell you to pick one person for one position. And then another sheet, what we did, we list all the people who are currently officers, who have been officers, and ask you to put in a name, almost the same thing. But we have been encouraging people for the last 3 months to think about the elections coming up, because we asked you to serve one position. It's just so happened that our treasurer has been there for 3 years, and he's a good guy. And that's one of the officers' position where you think about the RS and the bank and all that, you can't keep changing things. They've changed up so much. It's hard to change your treasurer. So he has been there constantly, but all the other officers, it's open. But we have been pushing for this, and you have to make sure if you think a person can do it, if they can't do it, stand behind them, because that's what your club is all about, to stand behind them and help them out.
Thank you so much. And I'll just quickly go over the 11 questions. Needs to exceed, helps others succeed. We need to help our members step up and succeed as a club officer if they haven't. It's part of the Toastmasters promise. Courageous. We need to be courageous. Leadership, customer focused or member focused, relationship builder, team builder, principled, change agent, eager learner, and values others. Why am I bringing this up? My first day of club growth director, there were over 29 clubs that had not turned in club officer lists. And I spent 2 months trying to get a hold of these clubs so they could have access into Club Central. I heard someone say, so we don't have to stress and rush. Please, if you have not started your slate of officers or scheduled your club officer elections, it will be here before you know it. And if you don't turn it in, it'll have 0 officers, and it's going to be very difficult to get back into Club Central. It will take a while. Who here has more than one officer role in their club? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of us. Why? 6, 5. Yes, there half of us here. Wouldn't that be great? Why don't we boost up our leadership skills and be a change agent and be courageous and see if we can get others to step up and be a club officer and ask them if they would be on that slate. It's yes, Deshaun, do you have to go?
Yes, no, I just want to say this. If one of my club officers, which I do have one, almost as good as you are, being the club officer, I would not want to come after them, and I would not want to take their place. I think that's what kills it all. Some of us have some of these talents that you're talking about, but we've done a good job throughout the years, and people don't want to replace us. They get afraid, like, oh, I can't do it that good, right? I mean, don't you think so, Gail? Don't you think that's the kind of thing? You are so great at this. How can I take over Elizabeth's spot? I'm afraid. And so a lot of people won't do anything. No, I'm not going to do it. So I don't know how we can get them out their shell by saying that, hey, listen, I'm going to help you. I'm going to mentor you, but I can't do this forever. So for the first 3 or 4 months, I'm going to help you. But I got to get out of this office. That's the only thing that I can say that we need to do, because all of us, people probably are afraid to take over your positions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, our members need to be more courageous. We need to become courageous leaders. and step out of our comfort zone, that's when we really learn. We need to lead other members into becoming more courageous and stepping into an officer role. Thank you for sharing that. Jude, I haven't heard from you. Isaac, I haven't heard from you. Any comments?
Thanks. Elizabeth, on my comment is I think I'm one of those that's kind of stuck in the middle, that if I'm prodded to be a leader, I will step forward. But also you have to look at, I think, how you perceive yourself. Do you want, if someone is not asking or someone doesn't really need it, do you step up and try to lead the way? No. But if I see someone is struggling and they need help, I'm willing to go above and beyond to try to help them. I think sometimes let me say, this is my perception of how I see things. I think we want to show people how well we can handle things, when sometimes we just need to sit back, let them work through it, and see how they can improve themselves without you leading the whole way. Because that's how we learn. Steps, mistakes, improve from those mistakes, and move on. I
Well
talked a
said.
long time.
Well said, Isaac. We're all in a safe place. We're here to make mistakes and learn from it. I love it. Mammy, what about you?
Okay. My takeaway is I was excited and glad about what you talked about tonight. And in my point of view, we are stuck. Really stuck.
Aw.
And to be honest about it, I always feel bigger in for where I need to be. So, it's just like I'm learning myself. So this was a good lesson, and I'm gonna continue to stay before you, and I'm gonna take this back to my club. And I also probably will invite my president and a couple of more to these meetings, because they are phenomenal. And we all need to learn. We just don't have strong leaders. So I'm looking for somebody to come help us out. We had 2 people in there. They really had started helping us, and then they had to leave, unfortunately. So we're back where we were.
Well, Mammy, guess what? I'm going to tag you as you are a courageous leader and a relationship builder. You got it going on. You're sticking through it. You're resilient, and you are member
I love my
focused.
club. That's why.
Yes, you are member focused. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Janetta, thank you for sharing, Mammy. Janetta?
I really don't have anything to add. I'm in 2 clubs, and I have 4 positions in those 2 clubs. No, 3 positions in those 2 clubs. But one of the clubs is building back up from ashes. So I'm going to use this in the Market Street Club as a guideline to introduce leadership to the new members that are there, and get them to step up and see what roles that they want. Because they are already leaders before they get there. They just don't know how to implement those leadership roles inside of Toastmasters Club.
Excellent. Has Market Street held their officer slate? Have they announced it?
No, but at our last leadership meeting, we discussed who was going to take what role, and we need to fill the roles that are held by 2 people.
Okay.
Or multiple, like you said.
Okay. Lou, what about you?
Yeah, what about me?
Tell us. I like that background. You're a leader.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm more like a 2-liter bottle, I think, than a. But yeah, I thought this was a delightful exercise to do on leadership assessment. I've taken them in the past, and like I think Xenia said earlier, it seems to vary with our moods and where we are in our life. And I think the way to get around this is to take it frequently enough to get a rounding score and find out if one day was an aberration as opposed to just, as opposed to doing over a longer period of time. Thank you for reminding us about Beat the Clock. As VPM, I need to really jump on that again and try and round up some of our guests who showed up at our club and see if they would like to come back and join. We're not meeting until the second Saturday of the month, so I have to jump on our president and make sure we're putting our slate together. I think he knows this because he's a member of another club as well. So what I'll do tonight is also chime him up and see if we can go ahead and get our slate put together so that we can elect in another couple of weeks. I think that's about it. I just compliment you. Every Marketing Monday is a new day. It's like that box of chocolate Forrest Gump's always talking about. You never know what you're going to get here. And it's all quality and good stuff. And I commend you for this. And boy, District 56 is lucky to have you.
I'm going to start crying. Thank you, Lou. That's very sweet. Thank you. How are you, Ryan?
Thank you for asking. Doing well. We met today to have a follow-up of our officer executive meeting. We had an executive meeting on Friday. Elizabeth Moala, our area director, joined us on her vacation. She was at the lodge and she stepped away in between to be on it with us. And she gave information about what you've given on Marketing Mondays. And to boil it down, we can only do a few things. Mr. Mosley was talking about that too. Some of the things that we talk about, we're trying to do all of them, and it's 45, 55 we're trying to get to. But as a person who's also a graduate professional, you have to target and focus the things. So one of the things two of the things that we're focusing on are visibility, because you've been talking about it here in marketing. And when I mean in the Marketing Mondays, the way to execute that visibility. And the percentage it always gets me about the YouTube. So I finally got them around that. And so we are recording our meetings. I'm gonna go to one of the locations with the people and help them record one time so we can get it on. I'll load it up to Adobe Spark. And by the third week of this month, we're gonna have a video up. And I'm gonna probably reach out. I already emailed her, but I'm gonna reach out to Jonetta just to make sure that we edit decent. We don't have to be perfect, but I know Jonetta knows how to do some of this stuff. So, and maybe I get people behind me if I can get them to see some of that. So all of the things that we learned here has been, I really have to mirror. It was like this has been so impactful. I even tell them, you guys have to join. It can't just be me so excited about this. I need y'all to come to these meetings and slide on, and you can only have to put your face on as soon as you get a taste of this meeting. I have little ones, big ones and little ones, and I don't make of the time. I have a big enough yes to say no, right? I'm saying yes to something and no to another aspect, but it's never really no. It's the budgeted time. So I make time. I have to slide this in because this is the dating time when you have a little one. This is the dating time for you and the wife. If you will sit down and watch stuff, so I make time for this one, and this is that valuable. And I want you to know that, like, every time you come on, you are delivering something to us new. Every time David Bell speaks, or you have Miss Xenia go on his speak, it always is a value add. So it helps us in making the group. It maximizes our time here. Gail speaking, it always maximizes our time. Janetta, when she pops in, I just enjoy her conversation every time she speaks up. So it's wonderful, and that's what I get from here. And I take that back to the group. We talked about the why today, and everybody did 2 minutes on their why. We went over the board meeting and showed them transparently. I said, I'm gonna talk to you transparent. This is what we talked about in the meeting. Shape up. This is where we're going, and this is what we're gonna do. And a lot of people don't want me to move on from the presidency, but I have a few ideas of what stepping into maybe the VPE or the VP of marketing will probably do for the team. And we're just gonna have to pick wisely for the presidency, because I said that's not something that you can just hold on to. I just kind of had to let them know that was not a fun thing, but They said, we're gonna have to move Ryan on. I'm like, don't say it like that.
Oh,
I do
Ryan,
want to lose that.
yeah, you are definitely a change agent then on this questionnaire. You're acting as a catalyst of change, stimulate others to change, challenges the status quo, and champions new initiatives and manages implementation effectively.
Oh, thank
5 points for you.
you. I didn't even know that, but thank you.
You are a change agent in your club. Okay. Anyone else? Gail? Jude?
The only thing I say is like with Anita, she said they need more committed members. So do we. We only have 10 members right now, and we're struggling to get to even 12. But it's hard to get officers when you have 10 and half of the people are going to be officers. But we had 2 new people join, and I've corralled one of them to be our VP of public relations because we have a Facebook page, but somebody left and now it sits there because there's nobody that's really able to do it. I mean, I'm techie, but not that techie. I'm not that young to be that techie. So I knew that he was interested in it. And then somebody else that came in. So I think I may have 2 new officers. And for president, we're kind of recirculating a president who was there before. You know how you get the feeling that somebody's chomping at the bit to be president? Well, I think he's chomping at the bit to be president again. And he thinks he was really a great one. Maybe he thinks he can grow the club better. But it's just a struggle right now to get new members. That's the biggest struggle that we have, and to keep them. We've had a lot of guests, and we've called them back, and we've done everything to try to get them back in there. We've had some that have joined for the 6 months, and then we never see them again. So it's people are not joining, meeting, and putting out the time to do things like they used to before COVID.
Right.
Thank you for sharing, Jude. Tell me the name of your club again.
Speakers Connection.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Gail.
Yes, I was going to make a comment. I don't want to be rubber stamped, and we don't want our club to be like that because that's how you die. Some people are intimidated because someone does well. My mother was the wind beneath my wings. She always said that when you were born, they broke the mold. There's no one else like you. She always told me that, and I've always believed it. And hopefully there will be no one else like me because you may not be able to stand 2 people like me on this earth, little OCD or whatever. So I encourage people, don't be intimidated. You don't want 2 of me around. So do your own thing. And I tell them that all the time because people are intimidated, but you need to know where they're standing, where they are, and you can help them. And sometimes you need to just stand back and let them do what they need to do. Let them make a mistake. Right. Because you'll be there to lift them up, if you need be. But I don't think the world could handle 2 of me. And I don't want to be rubber stamped. So that's my takeaway.
Thank you so much, Gail. Jude, I want to circle back to you on this assessment. Number 5 is member and guest focused. Maybe we can put together something that says creating sustained partnership with your internal and external, your guests and your members based on a thorough firsthand understanding of what creates value for them. Continually searches for ways to increase member or guest satisfaction. Maybe that's how we can help build your club. Just start asking, what creates value for you? What can we do? Something, look at that. Maybe we can be more focused on our members and guests and find out what's.
Yeah, I think on a couple of them we've gotten it, and some are just fishing, looking. We had one last week who had been to like 3 or 4 clubs, and he knew he was late. He couldn't get wherever the other club he was going to. He couldn't get to it, and he saw ours, so he decided to come, and he just showed up, and it was like, oh, what a surprise. And do I think he'll come back? No, because I don't think we're in his general vicinity, but we included him in he was our listen master. We have a listen master, which is really a good position for people when they're new. And we asked him about what he liked and what he didn't like, and, you know, asked him to come back, said we'd be delighted to have him and all that. And he gave us his email. Sometimes we have cards for them to fill out, and sometimes they will give us their card with what they want to achieve and so forth. And every now and then, if you don't follow up on the card, they give you a card with either an email and phone number or just an email. And so you can't contact them on a phone. So it's just been kind of interesting to see people coming to check things out and then not coming back, you know, so. Yeah.
Well, maybe you could even ask them, and that's okay if they don't come back, but ask them, just find out, you know, what made you, we're just wanting to know why.
Why?
It's okay.
Yeah.
To ask that. Okay. Would anyone else like to say any final closing thoughts? Well, thank you for being here. Yes, Ryan, that's good. We ask at the end, what made you come by and what feedback do you have for us? I like it. It may not be a fit for them, but at least you'd like to know. If you ask, they will share, but we have to ask.
We do.
We have to ask. You have to ask them.
Every guest, every guest we ask, you know, did you think of meeting, what brought you here? You know, do you think perhaps you'll come back? Or some say, oh yeah, you know, it's really interesting. I'll be back, and we never see him again. So,
Okay, well, yes, keep asking. What is that saying? The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
right.
Keep asking.
Yes, we do.
I'm going to keep asking some people here too. Just keep asking. Okay.
We're a 25-year-old club, so we are used to asking and not used to being quite as small as we are. So that's been our struggle, I think, more than anything. So.
Okay. Well, for those clubs who meet only once a month, I'm looking at you, Lou. I know you have a plan. Let's get those officers done. Okay, Anita, thank you for spending time here from Vegas and Chicago. Deshaun and everyone else, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And our club growth team, David and Z. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you, everyone. See you next Monday.
Take care.
Bye.
You
Thank you.
appreciate it. Take care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Stay safe.